Here with Coach Mike Mincey after Carson-Newman comes back to beat Newberry 77-73. Coach, we talked about it before the game. How do you string together a full 40 minutes of basketball? And we don't get that answer here today, but we do get a great fourth quarter performance. What did you see from your team over the final 10 minutes?
I saw a bunch of winners that overcame adversity, and we've done that time and time again this year. Taylor Goforth going out, and people might look at the stat sheet and say, well, she's not one of your leading scorers. Well, she's number one on our plus-minus chart, and that's how important she is to our team, certainly on the defensive end. Newberry had a great game plan against us offensively, or how we were playing, and we didn't adjust necessarily to how the game was being played from a physicality standpoint. It took us a while to get there, but credit Newberry. Coming into the game, they hadn't been shooting the ball very well, certainly hadn't been shooting the three ball well, and they hit 13 threes tonight, 13 of 29 at 44.8%. And we hadn't seen that throughout the year, so credit them because they played a great offensive basketball game. But I'm so proud of our kids because when we got down 8, we looked like we were dead in the water, and we had changed things up throughout the game, had to continue to adjust, and finally went back to the press. Abby came in. I thought Abby Wilson gave us just monster minutes. From a defensive perspective, a hustle perspective, and then she gave us 7 points to boot.
Talk about a player like Abby Wilson. Well, in the fourth quarter, you forced 14 turnovers. They finished with 25. Your turnovers were a massive issue for about the first 2.5 quarters of this game, but you were able to tame that down. Why, in your eyes, were you able to kind of make some of those adjustments in that fourth quarter besides potentially just being desperate?
Well, you know how that goes. They got the lead, and they're kind of underdog. They're wanting the clock to tick, and we got to come back. And I think I think we had 3 straight steals maybe, and we got right back in the game. We're capable of doing that. We got right back in the game. Instead of being down 8, we made it down whatever we were. But it seemed manageable at that point. But the press was kind of working for what we needed, and we stayed in it. And kept them out of their offense a little bit. Obviously kept them from scoring somewhat, but it aided us offensively to where we could put up our biggest quarter number of the game and get 28. So again, we had talked about it. It just wasn't our day. We got to grind one out. We've had to say that a lot this year. It feels like we got to grind this one out, and the kids certainly did that tonight.
Now you turn your sights to a Mars Hill team that picked up their first win of the season today. They beat Lincoln Memorial today. You get them at home. What do you need to do over the next few days? A, to try to make sure that everybody stays healthy, but B, to make sure that you don't overlook this Mars Hill team?
We're not overlooking anybody. Dustin and I were just talking about, scouting reports are meaningless to us now because I don't know how many times we've scouted opponents. Their shooting percentages mean nothing. If they're playing against Carson-Newman, they're going nuts, and they're going to shoot the ball well, and they're going to score the ball well, and they're going to shoot from the 3 well. And it seems like it's just happened to us time and time again. Now, a lot of that might be on our end where maybe we're just not playing as good a defense as maybe the opponents that they've played thus far. But I've watched Mars Hill. Mars Hill can beat people. Clearly, they beat somebody today. And we can't overlook anybody. I wouldn't say we're playing our best basketball. We've had some adversity hit with Tori Stem being out. It started with Harley, then Tori, now Goff is probably definitely out on Wednesday. And so just got to continue to find what we're going to do with the players that we have available. The one thing I was proud of tonight, and go back to Wise, we abandoned the press, went to the zone, won the game. Today we went to the zone early, abandoned the zone, went back to the press, found some rhythm, and found a 4-point victory on the road. And I was really proud of how the kids managed the game down the stretch without turning it over, getting stops, and making our free throws.